In this video, we continue solving quadratic equations. We will now solve quadratic equations where the leading coefficient is not equals to 1. And on the last example, this is a question I took from the November 2022 grade 12 exam. They gave this problem. It might look like something different from what we are used to, but there are two ways of solving it. It's either we can make it look like our standard way of looking at quadratic equations, where it's ax squared plus bx plus c equals to 0. We'll get to it, make it look like this, or solve it the way it is using the same principles we would when the problem was like this. Let us start. First problem. Now our leading coefficient is not 1. Minus 15 is equals to 0. So when you have a problem like this, the first thing you need to do now is multiply this 8 and this 15. You multiply 8 by 15, we get 120. So now we are looking for factors of 120. When you subtract them, they must give you 2. That is what we're looking for. So when our leading coefficient is not 1, we multiply the coefficient of x squared with the constant, we have 120. So now we're looking for factors of 120. When you subtract them, they give you 2. If you are not sure, you can write down all the factors of 120 and see which ones would do what we want. Factors of 120 are 1 and 120, because it's 1 times 120. We have 2 and 60. 2 times 60 is 120. We have 3 and 40. We have 5 and 24. We have 6 and 20. We have 120 divided by 7. No, we have 8 and 15. We have 10 and 12. These look like the factors we are looking for. We are looking for factors of 120. When you subtract them, they give you 2. 10 multiplied by 12 is 120, and 12 minus 10 is 2. So we will use 10 and 12. The same principle we apply when we are dealing with coefficients, leading coefficients of 1. We use it here. So the bigger number will take the sign of our middle term. So the 12 will take the positive, the 10 will take the negative, since we want them to have different signs. Remember, we said when our c is negative, they will have different signs. If our c is positive, they will have the same sign. So now we rewrite this using those two. Now we have 8x squared plus 12x minus 10x minus 15 is equals to 0. We just rewrote this 2x as this term now, because 12x minus 10x is still 2x. So our equation still hasn't changed. We just rewrote this in a way that the 2x is 12x minus 10x. I will explain shortly why we want to do this. When we are here now, we will group these two and take out a common factor, and group these last two to take out a common factor. I hope you can still see. So between these two terms, let me rewrite this. 8x squared plus 12x minus 10x minus 15 is equals to 0. So we want a common factor between these two, a common factor between these two. Between these two, if we take out 4x, that is a common factor between the two, we are left, when you divide 8x squared by 4x, you are left with 8 divided by 4, you are left with 2x plus, this plus is coming back, 12x divided by 4x, you will be left with 12 divided by 4 is 3. That is our common factor. The common factor on these two is negative 5, because this one can be divided by negative 5. This can also be divided by negative 5. When you take out negative 5 from this, negative 10x divided by negative 5, you are left with 2x. When you take out negative 5 from the 15, negative 15 divided by negative 5, you get a positive 3 equals to 0. You should always have the same expression on both if you have done everything correctly. So now what we have this 4x multiplied by 2x plus 3, and this negative 5x, it is also multiplied by 2x plus 3. So now we have a common factor here, which is 2x plus 3. And now that common factor on this side, it is multiplied by 4x, and on the other side it is multiplied by negative 5 equals to 0. So now we have a problem, that is, we have a solvable problem where we have a product of two expressions that equals 0. This means that 2x plus 3 is equals to 0, or 4x minus 5 is equals to 0. Transpose the 3 to the other side, we have 2x is equals to negative 3, or same thing, transpose the 5 to the other side, 4x is equals to 5. If we divide by 2 on both sides, we now have x is equals to negative 3 over 2, or x is equals to 5 over 4 divided by 4 on both sides on this one. This is how you would solve a problem where the leading coefficient is not equals to 1. Let's try to solve the second one. I'll try to be a bit faster, and then we'll do a special video where we solve this one. I do solve this one on my TikTok account in 2 minutes. There's a series that I do called the 2 marks per minute, where I solve exam questions for 2 marks in a minute. So we'll do a special video for this one where I explain thoroughly how we solve it. Let's try to solve the second one. I'll try to be a bit faster. So now, same problem here. Our leading coefficient is not 1. So we multiply 2 by 3, it gives us 6. Now we're looking for factors of 6. When you subtract them, they must give you 5. So factors of 6, we have 6 and 1. Easily 6 minus 1 gives us 5. So these are the factors we will use. Remember now, if we have a negative c, our constant is negative, these will have different signs. The bigger number will take the sign of the middle term, so we will use a positive 6 and a negative 1. So now we rewrite this. We have 2x squared plus 6x minus x, this is minus 1x, minus 3 is equals to 0. This is just the 5x written in a different way, because plus 6x minus x gives us 5x. So this expression hasn't changed at all. We just expanded it so that we can group these two now. We factor by grouping. The common factor between these two is 2x. If I divide 2x squared by 2x, I am left with x. If you divide 6x by 2x, you are left with 3. And then if we take out a common factor here, remember there's a 1 here, and our common factor could be negative 1. I'm not going to write the negative 1, there's a 1 here. So if I take out the negative 1, I am left with x, positive x, plus 3, because negative 3 divided by negative 1 is positive 3. This is equals to 0. So now we have a common factor, the x plus 3, x plus 3, x plus 3 is our common factor. And if you divide this expression by x plus 3, you are left with 2x. If you divide this expression by x plus 3, you are left with minus 1. This minus 1 is equals to 0. And therefore, x is equals to negative 3, or x is equals to 1 over 2. I hope this video helps solving problems when the leading coefficient is not equals to 1. On the next video, I'll try to go into more details solving this problem. But like I said, on my TikTok account, I do solve this problem within 2 minutes. It's a typical exam question worth 4 marks. It was on the 2022 November grade 12 exam. Thank you. Please like and subscribe.